Hey, what's up, family? My fellow humans. It is your girl, Wordplay Queen, and I am coming to you all with another message today, okay? I just got my book with me. I ain't really gonna read off my notes that much because this is a topic that is actually quite personal and I hold very close to me because it's about black people and it is about black disparities. I'm going to talk about black on black crime, a little bit about black economics, and a little bit of black history so you can be able to fully understand. And excuse the sound in the back. I'm not sure what they over there think they doing interrupting my video, but I just want to paint a picture basically on how did the black person, the black family, basically get to where we are today, and what are the solutions that we can come together and unify on instead of things like defunding the police or Black Lives Matter political movement. Not the phrase, the political movement. Instead of investing our money and our time into those things, what can we do that can better assist in uplifting us from this space, this place in America where we're clearly not comfortable? So I'm gonna touch base on that because I feel very passionately about it, and I really feel like a lot of the times black people are in positions where they feel like victims. We have a lot of things in our genes from our history of being slaves, and Jim Crow era is still in our blood. That stuff wasn't even 100 years ago. So we're still feeling the effects of it. Anxiety, PTSD like symptoms that we don't even understand. And I really want to sit for a second and unpack those, because the attack on black people, because trust and believe anything that has a basis in race, it's an agenda behind it, because race is an illusion. We are all humans. Now, the color of our skin, the way our noses are shaped, our cultures, all of that depended upon where we went when we left Africa, and if we mated with other forms of humans like Neanderthals. But that's going into semantics, and honestly, it doesn't matter, because at the basis, we're all human. So if we're talking about something that has to do with race, it definitely is an agenda behind it, and it definitely is something that's been plotted against and implemented on purpose. So when it comes to the black person, I really feel like where we first have the biggest problem, like outside of the fact that we make up most of the prison population, okay, outside of the fact that homicidal rates affect us more, and I'm not just talking about from police brutality. I am talking about the all too, don't say it because it sounds like you're trying to counter racism, black on black crime. I'm not saying that black on black crime excuses racial driven crime, but black on black crime, for the lack of a better way to phrase it, definitely exists. Mosquitoes are out bad, y'all. Be careful. Because I heard West Nile was going around Dallas, so y'all be careful. But so like black on black crime, what is it? It's basically saying that black people, like any other race though, is more likely to kill another black person. And I looked up the race in Atlanta, because Atlanta and Chicago have a lot of homicides within the black communities. So in Atlanta, it looks like that about 90% of the people who are affected by gun violence are affected, that are black, are affected by other black people. So not only do we have the attack from the government, the attack from the health system, the attack from the police, we also have an attack within ourselves. So we have to acknowledge that we cannot dismiss what we are doing to ourselves simply because other people are doing stuff to us based upon our race. Because if you can't help yourself, and this just and I'm gonna get back on topic, but if you can't help yourself, how do you expect anybody else to help you? So the biggest problem I feel like that we have is our family structure. we lack a family structure, and we can definitely blame that on the start of democracy, which is Democrats is what I'm talking about. When Democrats came about in the 1980s, we were on an incline, you all. Like, we were on an incline. We had like something called the Black Renaissance, and I'm gonna make sure those dates are correct. I'm gonna make sure I have all the correct information and description, because I'm coming off the dome right now. So if I say a date wrong, like when Democrats first came into play and stuff like that, that's wrong. I'm gonna make sure I have the correct facts for y'all. But just know that the attack on us began a long time ago. Once slavery was out the door, they realized that the biggest threat to us to us infiltrating the system and us becoming equal was the black man. So they had to create all different types of systems to be able to control the black man, whether that was incriminating him, taking away his rights, and making him a slave again due to the 13th Amendment, which also funnily freed us. It also entrapped us in a whole different way. So the war on drugs, over criminalization, all of these things and policies that were put into place destroyed the black family. And you can look up the people who started those policies. The war on drugs, like, I could have sworn Joe Biden had something to do with that, right? Y'all might want to look into that. So all of those things destroyed our black family. They locked up many black fathers, and all of a sudden there tried to be a rise in feminism. And I don't know why black women joined in on that, because that had to do with the white woman being equal to the white man. Why we thought that had something to do with us, I'm not sure. But then we start having black women feeling like independence was good and it's okay to be a single mother and it makes you stronger. And then they start implementing all these Planned Parenthoods and telling us to not grow our families. Get on birth control, it's free. Get an abortion, it's cheap. And they put it in all the brown and black communities. You don't see Planned Parenthoods in white neighborhoods, and there is a reason for that. Or Asian neighborhoods, and there's a reason for that. That type of stuff is strategic. So if you're trying to attack an entire group of people, the first thing that you would want to dismantle and destroy is the family structure. If they don't have a good family, they don't have balance in their home, they're not going to be able to raise productive citizens. They're not going to be able to raise intelligent, emotionally intelligent people who are going to be able to function properly. Because I don't care what this world that got you twisted up and down thinking and believing, but this is my opinion. A household needs two parents for the child to be balanced. Not every single time will that result in a balanced child, but a single parent family household results in more trauma, more PTSD, more depression, more open the gateways for more problems. So you have statistically a better chance of being a successful person if you come from a two-parent home. So that is a thing that they destroyed right off the bat. Black fathers had to go. The next step was they got to get our youth. They got to get our youth confused. They got to separate the youth from the old. So we have a lot of slave tactics about ourselves that we still use today. There's no other culture that acts the way black people do. And I really want black people to take a second and just think about that. Like, for myself, as an example, I'm a prime example, actually. I wonder how many black women can relate. But I got put out the house when I was 15 because I thought I was grown. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't... It's almost as if black people are trained to not want to deal with what needs to be dealt with. We crumble under pressure. Why at 15 was I put out the house? Because I thought I was grown, when really all I needed was a conversation about what the what was, about what sex was, what boys were. Don't demonize me. Don't make me seem like a heathen. Don't spew Bible verses at me like they used to do in slave days. Don't beat me. Don't, you know what I'm saying? None of that, all of that stuff we carried with us from slavery. And it may not seem like it, but as we scream and holler at people about having us in a system that still reflects slavery, we are still having actions that still reflect a slave mindset. So we really also have to acknowledge that other part of it too. I've been going through this book right here, y'all. I am just looking for this page that I had wrote about black economics and just having a good functional black community. But it really just comes down to the basis of we cannot continue to be victims. We cannot continue to think that the only time we're supposed to get upset is when somebody then got shot in the street by the police. The police kill so many people a year, and I am not just talking about black people. Like, the police problem is a whole different problem. To begin with, the police was founded to catch us niggas. It was the KKK. Like, you can't have a problem with the police and not have a problem with the government that created them. Like, we can say defund the police, but the issues that we suffer from is systematic. So you understand it's systematic, you have to go to the top of the system. You can't just go to one part of the system and be like, let's just take all the money from there and reallocate it. But reallocate it where? In the hoods and the poverty-stricken communities, we need the police. Or we need something similar to the police, because like I said, we're not checking each other well enough where we can have an all-black community and there's no violence. Like, no violence. Why would we kill each other when we have a problem with other people killing us? We should be the lowest homicidal rate in America, because that's how much we value our lives. We're not even out here killing each other. So how dare you? Like, that's the only problem that I have with getting so upset when people are killed wrongly by the police. You want to make everything about race. Like I said, the police kill thousands and thousands of people every year of all colors. They only publicize the ones where it's black people. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that at every turn they want you to feel like a victim? Why do you think at every turn they want you to realize that you suffer? How about we choose not to suffer anymore? How about we choose not to participate in a systematic racism? How about we detach ourselves? But in order to detach ourselves from this country, we would have to unify. But that is also something that we lack in this community. See, we're focused on fixing the whole thing when there are so many small parts that need to be fixed first. Like, we could be the same energy that you give towards taking all the money and funding away from your police departments should be aimed towards your state legislation, and you should be out there being knowledgeable and voting for the correct people to get into office so that they can make the rules and the laws that you desire. Or here's an even better idea. If black people are tired of a system that oppresses them, how about we infiltrate it? How about we raise politicians? How about we raise doctors? How about we raise people who are going to make a significant change and not continue to feed into what we have historically been having? Nothing has changed. Slavery only gets more mental. You can think that you're free in this country, but you let the news control you. You let propaganda control you. You let agendas control you. You think the problem that we face as black, if you think the problem that we face as black people is the police, you ain't even dived deep enough yet. It's way deeper than that. We lack a family structure. And I read an article that said that's a myth, that there are plenty of black fathers. And I know that there are plenty of black fathers, and I definitely would say that we are on the incline for black marriages, black love, and bringing back that black family unit. But we need more mentorship. We need more guidance for our youth. We have to get more on one accord before we try to blame everything on white people. I want to give you a little perspective. I can't even find this page. But I want to give you a little perspective just real quick. So, we was brought to this country, right? We was brought to this country against our will, and we were slaves, correct? And we worked for a long time to get the same rights as people who do, which Malcolm X, I agree with him. You can't be equal to a people who think that they're not equal to you. So we wasted a lot of time trying to gain equal rights. So we done got somewhere with that. So now we done got somewhere, and we in this position now where we are able to get education. We can go to college. We can even go to a HBCU now. We can get any kind of degree we want. We can move and live anywhere that we would like to. We can have credit. We can economically, we can build our way up. The only thing that limits you is your mind. If you think you a slave and you think you oppressed, that is what's going to be affirmed in your reality. I'm not a slave, nor am I oppressed. My mind is my own, and I am free. I am free. They can't put me in a cell, even if they put me in a cell. Do you understand? So we have to go about this differently. We can't scream to them, you have to change this, you have to defund this, when we literally can just create our own. Oh, Asia, what about Black Wall Street? What happened there? Do you seriously think in this day and time that they're going to bomb an entire neighborhood, that they're going to be able to ride up in there and start killing people? Do you think in this day and time they're going to be able to do that? If we all decided to get together, they're not going to be able to do anything but be upset and succumb to our wishes, because colored money, black and brown money run this economy. If we chose a day where we didn't buy nothing, like not a grocery, not a gas, not a nothing, the economy would plummet for one single day, let alone let it be a week or something. We run this. Why would we be asking for anything? That's the downfall. Why do you think that a country that had your ancestors as slaves owes you anything? Let's take Ethiopia and France, for example. Okay, Ethiopia got their freedom, but France, why would you expect anything from your oppressor? Why? When they enslaved you, why would you expect for them to give a F word about the success of your people? They don't care. You out there in the streets crying and going to jail and building a record for yourself when they do not care. They don't care. So how about this? Let's infiltrate the system. Let's stop participating in it. And let's elevate ourselves as black people and stop being victims. We are not victims. The police may target us because of our race, but the police was funded and founded by the KKK. Why are you expecting more out of the police? Why are you expecting more out of people who don't respect you as a human being? I've no clue. I've no clue why black people think that white people owe them something. They don't owe you an apology, especially none of the present day white people. What did they do to you? What they do to you? Oh, they got to benefit from their ancestors. That ain't their fault. That's just mosquitoes everywhere. That ain't their fault. That's just the way it is. So now that we see the way it is, we can't keep complaining. We got to start putting action. I see a lot of black people is opening business. I see a lot of black people is being very much encouraged and joining together. I need to see it more. I see too many of y'all out there on the street screaming at them folk to do what? To do what? It's good to change policies, though. If you can get to it where you can change a policy or a law, I commend you. But if you just out there begging and pleading for them to care about your life, you care about your life. You care about your brothers and sisters' lives. Like, take foot to the pavement. Go out there in the communities. You think homelessness is a problem? Start feeding the homeless. You think black people don't have enough money? Create a pool economics and get a whole bunch of black people together and make something happen. It's no longer time for us to be complaining. We no longer can take the time out to complain and be victims. We have to revolutionize and we have to elevate ourselves. We are at that point now where our minds can be our own. We have to detach from the programming and unify. Or don't and see what happened. Or don't and see what happened. And this is really a positive message. I just wanted to turn some wheels on some stuff because I just don't want to see my black people going through it no more. Like, it's not necessary. It's not. And we got all the keys. We got so many smart people in our community. Imagine if we just all brought it together. Even in small chapters in different states on a smaller scale. Like, of course, every black American not going to agree. But if every city, impoverished city in America, a small group of black people took the initiative to, okay, there's a lot of gun violence in our neighborhood. We're going to patrol the streets every night. I don't care if you're a police officer. I don't care if you're black, white. If you're hurting our community, you have to go. Or you can't be, or you can't do it. You're going to get checked. Like, that's what we need. Accountability. That's what we need. We don't need people to think that we're suffering. We don't need white people to go through training to understand that they're privileged. How we gonna cry and say we the original people? We birthed everything, and then on the flip side we victims. Gotta make it make sense to me, cause I'm up here, and ain't no white person ever finna be able to come in my face and make me feel no different about who I am as a black woman. I'm not finna let the news tell me nothing. I'm not under attack. I feel safe. You should feel safe too. You having PTSD like symptoms every time you see the police, it's a problem. The problem starts here. Contrary to belief, it starts here. It's not out there, it's here. And the answer is here. It's here. In our spirit, our chakras, it's here. We have everything that we need. We don't need to seek outside help from nobody. And the day that black Americans realize that will be the day that we are truly free. So I just want to come to you with a quick message today. I hope it was received well. If you have any comments, let's chat in the comment section. I would love to hear it. Otherwise, please like and share, and peace.